call, please.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes? Yes.
Yes.
All right, now I have to see. Mr. Jana Lewis, can you please stand? I'm going to read you the oath, okay?
Yes.
I do solemnly swear that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of the member of the Peatone Education of Peatone Unit School District 207U in accordance with the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of Illinois, and the laws of the State of Illinois to the best of my ability. I further affirm that I shall respect taxpayers' interests by serving as a faithful protector of the school district's assets. I shall encourage and respect the free expression of opinion by my fellow board members and others who seek a hearing before the board, while respecting the privacy of students and employees. I shall recognize that a board member has no legal authority as an individual and that decisions can be made only by a majority vote at a public board meeting. I shall abide by the majority decisions of the board while retaining the right to seek changes in such decisions through ethical and constructive channels. As part of the Board of Education, I shall accept the responsibility for my role and quality of education of every student in this school district. I shall foster with the board excessive participation of the community, formulate goals, define outcomes, and set the course for the Peatone Community Unit School District 207U. I shall assist in establishing a structure and environment designed to ensure all students have the opportunity to attain their maximum potential through a sound organizational framework. I shall strive to ensure a continuous assessment of student achievement in all conditions affecting the education of our children in compliance with the state law. I shall serve as an education key advocate on behalf of students in our community schools and advance the vision for Peatone Community Unit School District 207U. And I shall strive to work together with the district superintendent to lead the school district toward fulfilling the vision of the board has created, fostering excellence for every student in the areas of academic skills, knowledge, citizenship, and personal development. Do you agree?
I will.
Perfect. You can join us up on the board and be seated.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Janowitz. Welcome. Nominations are now in order for the office of Vice President.
Thank you.
I would like to nominate Ashley Stashniak as Vice President.
Ashley is nominated for the board Vice President. Are there any other nominations for the office of Vice President?
I nominate Mark Jones.
Do I order this one? All in favor of Ashley for the office of Vice President, please raise your hand. Does that go to Jen then? All in favor of Ashley for Vice President, raise your hand. Ashley. Then what do we do?
No,
Voting for Vice President.
Yeah, there's a majority of it, right?
Vote.
So then the board secretary would. How does that work? Jen does it?
Yeah.
You would report the number of votes.
So it was,
Do you want to do a show of hands one more time?
show of hands one more time. All those in favor of Ashley?
Of Ashley. Okay, thank
Of
you.
Ashley, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And all
All
those
in favor?
opposed?
Aye.
Okay.
That's it.
Yep. So Ashley becomes the vice.
All right, Ashley, you are now nominated for the Vice President position. Congratulations. Thanks. Thank you. All right, moving forward to the consent agenda. Items A through H, is there any questions?
I do have a couple things. So as most of you probably know, I have been diligent in tracking our what we call P-card spending. Basically, certain administrators in the district have access to a credit card. There were parameters that have always been in place for this spending, but have not been followed until recently. So I just wanted to bring to your attention, comparing apples to apples, this same time last school year, the spending was just shy of 19,000. This school year, we're at 8,800, which is phenomenal. And then just comparing total dollars spent for this school year to total dollars spent last school year, we are $33,000 less than what we were spending last year, now that the parameters are being followed and the checks and balances have been put in place. Also, special education that we have spent for outsourcing students this month was $106,000. So I'm also tracking that to get a total dollars spent for special education. Hopefully it'll be easy to monitor as the year goes on. Where is Adrian? Over there. I did have we have an activity fund that has a negative balance. Class of 2026 for PHS has a negative balance. I'm sorry, it was a little hard. I know, I'm trying to. PHS class of 2026 activity fund has a negative balance. I just was wondering why.
It's got to have a negative balance if the revenues hadn't hit the actual account when it's already been spent. I will look into it to make sure that's
Okay. The last time, yeah.
Any other questions?
Nope, that's it.
Can I get a motion to approve consent agenda A through H?
Move to approve.
Second. Yes.
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 Yes?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Whereas Peatone Community Unit School District 207U encourages academics and healthy competition, whereas two cross-country members, Emma Pena and Andy Thompson, coached by Sean Price and Lori Leonard, competed the Class 3A IESA State Cross Country Meet held in Normal, Illinois on Saturday, October 18, 2025. Emma Pena finished in 8th place in the girls 3A 2-mile race with a time of 12.23.74 to receive a medal. Andy Thompson finished in 163rd place with a time of 14:01:20. Whereas Emma Pena and Andy Thompson represented the district in a positive fashion, and now therefore be it resolved by the Peatone Board of Education that Emma Pena and Andy Thompson be recognized for their outstanding achievement. Congratulations to Emma and Andy. You guys are welcome to come up, get your picture taken, family as well.
I saw Thompson's here. They're right there. That's Emma. Oh, there's Andy.
Kathy, you want to be in the photo?
Congratulations, girls. Mrs. Zorales, would you like to announce the staff and student spotlight winners for October?
Absolutely. This year, our district-wide focus is Go Big Blue, a theme that aligns with our Peatone High School vision and our portrait of a graduate. Each month, we highlight one key aspect of Go Big Blue and celebrate the students and staff who truly exemplify it through the Go Big Blue Spotlight Recognition Program. For October, our focus was Inspires with Empathy, recognizing individuals who show kindness and care, noticing how others feel, and making sure everyone feels seen, heard, and supported. We are proud to recognize the following staff members who were celebrated with their schools and their departments for exemplifying Inspires with Empathy. Our staff members were PHS, Mandy Siegel, PJHS, Camille Altamini, Pitt, Audrey Murray, PES, Tara Popovich, and at the district level, Mandy Fair. And tonight, we are excited to honor the following students as our Go Big Blue Student Spotlights for October, Inspires with Empathy. When I call your name, you can come up and get your certificate, and then we'll go ahead and line up in front of the stage so we can get some photos. So, for Inspires with Empathy from PHS, we have Kendall Hovey. From PJHS, we have Haley Nixavon. From Pitt, we have May Kulak. And from PES, we have Angel Martinez. Congratulations to all our honorees for setting the standard and inspiring others to go big. Mr. Owens. All right, parents, if you got your photos, we got your admin photos. All right, congratulations. All right, now for the rest of you, what a full auditorium we have tonight. And tonight we are recognizing students that scored a 4 above proficient on the IAR testing this past spring. This is a huge accomplishment. Some of you may have been recognized previously for getting a 5, but the Illinois Assessment for Readiness has recalibrated their benchmark, so now a 4 is the highest score. It is incredible to see how this recognition has evolved from us being in the library recognizing about 30 students the first year to last year, us being very overcrowded in the library recognizing about 50 students, and tonight recognizing about 90 of our students. So congratulations to you all. We're going to call each grade level, your current grade level, so you'll be recognized for the year before from spring. We're going to call you up. You're just going to stage over by the stairs. When you hear your name, Mr. Owens and then call the next group up. So our first group is our current fourth graders for recognition. All right, we'll let them make their way over. Setting an excellent example of how this is done. Fourth graders, nice job. All right, these students received a 4 above proficient in ELA. Let's hold our applause to the end of the grade level. Eliana Coleman, Ava Cross,
And then just, sweetheart, come down.
Talia DeMeo,
Good job.
Brinley Hogg, Liliana Lefevre, John McCaslin, April McNeely, Maximus Norwood, Kylie Zillis. These students scored a 4 in math. Baker Bowman, all right, Morgan Shanahan, Thomas Lemicki, William Whitkus. And these students scored a 4 in both ELA and math. Pablo Patello, Mary Campbell, and George Hess. All right, congratulations. You guys can head off that way. Now, we're going to recognize our current 5th graders. So if you're in 5th grade, go ahead and line up by the stairs. All right. For students who scored a 4 above proficient in 4th grade, now 5th grade, in ELA we have Chase Batten, Alexis Bauer, Sammy Brown, Emma Frosto, Rosalie Jones, Avery Fodenhauer, Aubrey Pagos, and Isabel Sprecher. And now for our students who scored a 4 in math. Vincent Catoni, Dominic DeMeo, Brayden Lubert, Callie Papera, and our only 4th grade last year who scored both a 4 in ELA and math, Logan Shanahan. graders to make their way to the staircase. Our students being honored for getting a 5 in ELA from 5th grade last year. Sage Burke, Jaden Gallegos, Eden Jeffrey, Devin Leeson, Rosemary Wadinsky. Our students getting recognized for math, Luke Chambers, Paxton Chanel. And our current 6th graders for scoring a 4 in both ELA and math, Connor Calder, Violet DeRosia, Samuel Wolf, and Henry Roos. Congratulations to our team. Our current 7th graders getting recognized for 6th grade. Our current 7th graders to make their way. For our 7th graders being recognized for 6th grade, for ELA, Jake Abizano, Ellie Beedrin, Phoenix Campus, Natalie McKenna, Michaela Robinson, Eleanor Smith, Claire St. Ange, Easton Tepper. And for math, we have Jacob Rodriguez, Jensen Boss, and students currently in 7th grade who scored a 4 in both ELA and math, Olive Clay, Anthony DeMayo, and Crosby Kamba. Noah Estrada. Zephyr Forsyth. Lilla Gall. Skylar Helsel. Caitlin Mays. Leighton McInerney. Haley Mixabon. Lily Moe. Addison Mueller. Chesney Polka. Donovan Pate. Megan Plastiak. Peyton Podgorny. Porter Peach. Kendall Schmesky. Corinne Taylor. Adeline Eugstein. Jack Zabrowski. Can we shift down a little bit? And for math, we have Noel Cameron Posma. And for ELA and math, we have Kathleen Begley. Keaton Denny. Hayden Schmidt. Olivia Barbancourt. And Allison Williams. Congratulations to our current agents. Stephen Clark. Itzel Cortez. Bentley Dowd. Jada DeMoss. Hector Estrada. Melina Fonseca. Charlie Isbell. Michaela Kraft. Patrick Krupa. Austin Adson. Peyton Pate. Hunter Peach. For math, we have Gabriel Rodriguez. And for both ELA and math, we have Gabriella Fry and Walter Slanicki. Congratulations to everyone.
First up for opportunity for visitors to speak, Mr. Maxidon.
Before we start the timer, I wonder if I might ask for a little leniency and ask for an extra minute for the 6 minutes.
I don't have an objection.
I'm okay with it. You're okay with it?
So,
Excuse me, can you get that a little closer? It's hard to hear.
yeah, I basically have to stand on top of the stupid thing to do work.
There you go.
Does it work?
Yeah, much more.
Thank you.
So, about 15 days ago, October 30th, I saw a post on Facebook by a community member about a bus accident. And in that exchange on Facebook, I saw quite an attack on an individual for raising some concerns about method of communication. And one could argue whether it was or was not appropriate. And individual reached out to me, which happens because they know I'm vocal and I'm opinionated. And frankly, I don't care if my opinion agrees with theirs or not. I feel comfortable telling them if I don't agree with them. And the opinion that I shared is, you know, if you could have opinions, but what you have to look at is procedure. And if the district has a procedure that was or wasn't followed, that's where you can have a problem. You can't have problems where there's a perceived opinion on communication, how it should or shouldn't have happened. The individual, like I said, took quite a meeting on Facebook, and I offered to help. And the way I offered to help was, I offered to help her look at the district's policies and procedures and say, okay, is your concern warranted or is it not, according to what the board, which represents the community majority, and the management of the district superintendent has put in place. And so I pulled up some of the procedures and I sent them to her. And she says, well, how will I find out what these look like? And I said, well, you can send a FOIA request. And I helped her put that together. And she sent it. She got a response back that many of the records didn't exist that coincided with the procedures that the district has in place when a bus gets in an accident. Part of the response that came back was, well, that doesn't apply because the bus was painted white. Well, according to ISB, accident reporting and procedures is the same regardless of the color of the bus. It doesn't matter if it's painted yellow or if it's an activity bus, which is indicated by white paint. Now, commercial driver's license does come into play when there are less than 15 passengers, including the driver. Accident reporting doesn't matter. Activity bus or no school bus. So, one of the things that is in the district's policies is that anybody who drives a bus, whether it be a white or yellow bus, gets an initial training and an annual training anytime they operate a bus carrying students down the road, for obvious reasons. We want our students safe. We all agree upon that. One of the requests in the FOIA was for the training records. They exist. The response was no. Problem number one. Problem number two. Another part of the district's policies and procedures is that when a bus gets into an accident, you follow ISB's rules, and that is a report gets sent to the regional superintendent stating that a bus got in an accident, how many injuries, so on and so forth. There's a whole reports on the website. Two of the questions on that report are, was there initial training for the individual operated bus? And was there an annual training? And the box was checked, yes. So if the FOIA request was responded to, saying that no such records existed, but the report to the regional superintendent said that they did, the question I have is, was the FOIA not fulfilled completely, or did we lie to the regional superintendent? I ask this not to bash the superintendent, not to get after the individual driving the bus. I bring this because it is your jobs to write procedure, follow procedure, and hold accountable. If this is not dealt with, the school district has liability on its hands. And it is your responsibility to protect students, staff, and the community taxpayers. Because frankly, if you're sued, my tax bill goes up.
1 minute.
There was also drug screening as part of the process. Accident occurred at 6:56 a.m. on the 30th. The drug screening occurred at 11:36 a.m. the following day. Unacceptable. Completely unacceptable. The rules for drug testing are if there was a towed vehicle, if there was injuries, and if there was a citation, and all three of them. The district failed. It's your job to make sure it gets cleaned up.
Thank you, Mr. Maxon. Jolene?
Hello, I'm Jolene Malengo. I'm also speaking about the bus incident. My daughter was an FFA student on the bus that morning. I'm here today as a concerned parent regarding the accident. After reviewing the policies, transportation, 4110, safety, post-accident checklist, bus conduct, parental involvement, I am concerned as a parent that several procedures were not followed. First, the district policy requires a clear, rapid, factual, and coordinated system of communication. In any emergency, parents were not notified by the district in a timely manner. Many of us learned about the crash from our children, not from school district officials. This is not rapid communication, nor does it align with the parental involvement standard in policy 895, which states, parents must be kept thoroughly informed. My child called me. Nobody from the district, no text message, no phone call. My child called me, which I'm glad I heard from my child and I'm glad she was safe. But this was an accident. It was a T-bone collision at an intersection. You know, my daughter, did I know was our bus hit? Was their car? Like, I didn't know who was the T. I just heard from my kid that it was okay. And she has back issues. She rides horses. We did have to take her to the hospital afterwards to get her looked at, just to be sure, because, I don't know what could happen in, accidents. You don't feel it until later. Secondly, the policy requires the transportation office to arrange for parents of the children on the bus to be contacted. That did not occur. Third, when parents arrived to pick up their children, their IDs were not checked. Releasing the minor students without verifying identity is a significant safety lapse, and it contradicts the district's own policy commitment, promoting safety under policy 4170. There was a sign-in sheet. Anybody could have walked in and signed out my child. Fourth, the same post-accident procedure requires a record of each student's name and seating position. And I submitted a FOIA request for that information. I'm still under review of it. I'm asking the board here to have a full review of the district's response to this emergency. Confirm which of the communication protocols were failed. Maybe create a plan for some corrective action so parents are never again notified of an accident by a child instead of by district officials. I mean, we're taking 14 children out of state. I was not happy with the way that accident was handled. Assurance that student release procedures and ID verification will be followed at all times during emergencies going forward. These are minor children. They might be almost adult, but they're still minors. Our children deserve safe transportation, and we deserve clear, immediate communication when their safety is at risk. And that's all I really have, so thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Can I ask if there can be any kind of response? You just got some pretty heavy stuff laid out.
My response is thank you for bringing it to the board. That's my response.
You shared information that I wasn't aware of. I don't know if anybody else was. And I appreciate your bringing it to our attention.
Mr. Florencio, would you like to present our tax levy presentation?
Could we bring down those lights, maybe? Me either. Let's just see if we can see.
I just turned it back on.
Right here.
Where's what?
Okay.
Quick second your power up.
It's better lighting. No pressure.
We apologize for the delay. We had it queued up, ready to go, but the energy savings on the projector kicked on there and shut everything off. There we go. All right, thank you very much. Today we're going to do a high-level overview of the 2025 tax levy. At the previous committee meeting, we went over several slides and we went over this in detail, so I will just be summarizing this. The presentation we went over at the last meeting will be posted online for those of you who are interested. So the district will receive a 2.9% increase over the 2024 extension, and that is December 2024 CPI. Equalized assessed values projected to increase by 11.85%, with an estimated new construction of $8.8 million. Gives us a estimated total EAD of just over $600 million. The estimated operating tax rate coming in at 2.5757, with an estimated debt service just under $2 million. The bonded interest tax rate is expected to be at 0.3324, and that does not include the 2026 series working cash bonds. The total estimated tax rate is at 2.9081. The district will be levying $15.66 million in anticipation of it actually receiving an extension of $15.46 million. And it's common practice to quote-unquote balloon the levy to ensure that the district captures all the revenue it's entitled to, since we're working off of estimates received from the county and from the assessor's office. Any questions from the board?
Is that the whole presentation?
Yes. Yep, just a summary.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Adrian. Mrs. Zorales?
Tonight I'll be presenting on our school report card and our state designations. So each year the Illinois report card is published, and a school district can receive, and a school can receive 4 possible summative designations: exemplary, confirms that all of our schools, PES, PIC, PJHS, and PHS all received commendable ratings this school year, or last school year. There is no annual ranking for preschool, and that means we had no underperforming subgroups, and our high school graduation rate was 88%. I shared this at one of the committee meetings that Illinois has adjusted their benchmarks for their standardized testing. So this is the new Illinois Right Size Assessment. As you can see on the graphic, our previous misaligned performance levels for IAR, we had a 5-level system. For ISA, that's the Illinois Science Assessment, we had 4 with different terms than the SAT, which was 4 levels. And now they've unified all performance level to a 4-leveling system, below proficient, approaching proficient, proficient, and above proficient. All of the data I'm sharing tonight can be found on the Illinois State Report Card. This is our district summary. In green, we have the district, and then in the teal color, we have the state. So you can see for ELA, our overall proficiency was 63.4%, performing above the state. And then IAR, so that's our grades 3 through 8, 65.1, and then the ACT suite, which was taken by 9th, 10th, and 11th graders, was 57.4. For math, you can see we performed slightly above the state, not as much as ELA, and our overall was 41.6. And then for science, we performed as a district at 62.9%. Here is the breakdown of our achievement results for ELA by grade level. I'm not going to go individually, but you can kind of see an overall trend. And like I shared at our committee meeting, these are our new benchmarks. So in previous years, we were able to compare how we were making growth in achievement, and we're no longer able to do this. So this is our new set of benchmarks that starting in 2025, we'll be able to compare our achievement. Something we can look at annually and year over year is the growth results. So this is our growth. So 50% is the state average. So that means that the group of students is performing at the same level if we're reaching a 50%. And you can see in 2022 for ELA, we were actually performing above the state. So our students weren't making as much growth as other students the previous year, scoring in that range. So this is a nice trend to see of the growth our district has made, that in 2029, 59.5% we had a growth score of 59.5. So our students were growing more than the average student in the state of Illinois in ELA when compared to their peer group. These are our ELA achievement results for the ACT suite. Again, mostly in the 60s. And then for math, these are the achievement results for grades 3 through 8. And this is shared in your packet if you want to dig in more, or I'm always happy to answer questions, but I don't want to go grade level by grade level. And then the growth, again, I think this is exciting to see. 2022, we had more than the average growth, but then in 2023, we were below. Our students were not growing as much as compared to their peers in Illinois, but over the last 2 years, we are performing and growing more than the average peer. And then these are ACT, so ACT math is showing us below state, so this is an area of focus. And then we have our science, students take the Illinois Science Assessment in grades 5 and 8, and then they take it as part of the ACT suite in 9, 10, 11. So we can see our scores for science. And in July, I believe I shared district goals, and with the new Illinois benchmarks levels, I have adjusted those. So before, I think it was 60% of our students and 40% for math, but with our new benchmark, again, all the way here, you can see our current levels at 63% for ELA, 41% for math. Our new goal for 3-year is by spring 2028, at least 70% of our students in grades 3 through 11 will be proficient or above proficient in ELA as measured by the IAR and the ACT college readiness benchmarks. So that's about a 9% growth. So I think a 2 to 3% growth each year is a reasonable goal for our district. And by spring 2028, at least 50% of our students in grades 3 through 11 will be proficient or above proficient in math as measured by IAR and the ACT. And then tonight we have an action item for the school improvement plans. Again, these were created in our school improvement workshop in July, and now with the updated assessment data, they're not finalized, but they have been on ready for school improvement day and purposes at the building levels, but they're officially done and ready for tonight. Any questions?
I have a comment and a question. Comment just by your presentation here. I would do a shout out to PIC math teachers. 4th grade math looks awesome, and we need to, is it 4th grade? That was ELA. Yeah. Yep. Our meets and exceeds is just off the chart. That's great. And then question, on the school improvement plan, in some places you did have specific names of people. Are those interchangeable once it's submitted?
Yes.
Okay.
And I agree. I know PIC worked really hard last year in implementing our new math program, like with Fidelity and all components. I think that was a component, as well as that instructional coach position. Mrs. Sansi served as the instructional coach, the instructional leadership at all of our buildings. I think are reflected. So I'm excited. While we don't have the comparison, I did data dive when I got the raw data this summer, and with the old benchmarks, and there was growth in both ELA and math with the old benchmark system, and I think we're on the right track, and I'm really excited to continue to see where we can go as a district for our academics and instruction.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carol. All right, action items. Report number 31, approval of the tentative 2025 tax levy and the certificate of the 2025 tax levy adoption, date of December 15th, 2025. Do I have a motion?
Move to approve.
Second?
Mrs. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mrs. Love?
Yes.
Mrs. Moe?
Yes.
Mrs. Stanchiak?
Yes.
Mr. Staub?
Yes.
Mr. Janus?
Yes.
Report number 32, approval and adoption of the resolution declaring to issue not to exceed $4.9 million in working cash bonds for the purpose of increasing the district working cash fund and directing that notice of such intention be published in the manner provided by law. Do I have
A point of order, Madam Chair. If you could read the amount in its entirety.
No, $4,965 million.
Thank you. I move to approve.
Second?
Madam Chair, before we start, I just want to tell those in the audience and those speaking that, I mean, they've probably heard me being critical of issuing working cash bonds, but I did vote in favor of the last budget, and so it's my individual duty to fund that budget, and I believe that to fund it right now, this is definitely the right move for right now.
Thank you, Joe.
Mrs. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mrs. Love?
Yes.
Mrs. Moe?
Yes.
Mrs. Stanchiak?
No.
Mr. Staub?
Yes.
Mr. Jennings?
At this point, I'll abstain.
Report number 33, approval and adoption of the resolution calling a public hearing concerning the intent of the Board of Education to sell not to exceed 4,965,000 working cash fund bonds for the purpose of increasing the district working cash fund. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Mrs. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mrs. Love?
Yes.
Mrs. Moe?
Yes.
Mrs. Stashniak?
No.
Mr. Staub?
Yes.
Mr. Jennings?
Yes.
Report number 34, approval of the district school improvement plans for PES, PIC, PJHS, and PHS. Do I have a motion?
I'll motion.
Second.
Mrs. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mrs. Love?
Yes.
Mrs. Moe?
Yes.
Mr. Stashniak?
Yes.
Mr. Staub?
Yes.
Mr. Jennings?
Yes.
Report number 35, approval of Peatone High School course guide changes for the 2026-2027 school year.
So moved.
Second?
Mrs. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mrs. Love?
Yes.
Mrs. Moe?
Yes.
Mrs. Stashniak?
Yes.
Mr. Staub?
Yes.
Mr. Jennings?
Yes.
Report number 36, approval of Peatone High School's early graduate.
So moved.
Second.
Mrs. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yep.
Mrs. Love?
Yes.
Mrs. Moe?
Yes.
Mrs. Stashniak?
Yes.
Mr. Staub?
Yes.
Mr. Jennings?
Yes.
All right, we're going to hold off on report number 37?
Yeah.
All right, we are going to hold off report number 37 until after we meet in executive. There will be action after. All right, Mr. Owens, do you have anything?
Yes, I do. Over the weekend was School Board Members' Day. It took place on Saturday the 15th. I'd like to take a moment to just express gratitude and appreciation for the dedicated members of our school board. Their commitment to our students, educators, and the entire community is invaluable and deserves recognition. As many of us are aware, serving on the school board is a significant commitment with an unpaid position that requires countless hours, looking at policy, attending meetings, and making tough decisions. And our board handles complex issues all while keeping the success and well-being of every student at the forefront of their minds. Their work shapes the future of our district, ensuring that our schools remain places where every student can thrive, learn, and grow. I'd just like to thank you all for being the dedicated leaders that you are. Your service often goes unrecognized, but please know that the positive impact of your commitment is felt every day in the classrooms and throughout the community.
Thank you.
In addition to that, we have had I've had 6 FOIA requests over the last month in total. For the last 2 months, Mr. Florencio and I have completed 13. Just a couple other items. We had our second Who We Are series for our engagement series that we've had with our parent engagement series, we just had one last week on the 12th. And we had another about 12 individuals that were part of that conversation. We took a look at the planning stages and talked about just some of the planning components, budget, some items along those lines, but we also reviewed our architect-led plan for the feasibility study, which I'll touch on in just a minute. We will have another December meeting where we will talk about resource allocation and still a little bit of our planning component next month. The feasibility study, we are working with White & Company. It's just gotten underway. I'm not sure if Mike is planning on touching on it a little bit, but they had some building walks and visits at the end of October. We will have our first portion of that, what will take place in our opportunity workshop, which will be teachers and some administration will be involved in that conversation, where we're going to look at our buildings, look at the needs, look at the educational needs that we have, and see what what areas the architects can support in creating a successful environment, an appropriate environment for all of our students to ensure that they're learning under the best circumstances. We have plenty of opportunities coming up in the near future. We will have 2 opportunity workshops over the next 2 or 3 months. On top of that, we are looking to implement a steering committee that will take place, which will be another 2 meetings, one in December and one in January. We'll be sending out some invites to parents here very soon to be part of that process. And then additionally, after we go through this all of these meetings and collect our information, we will have a community engagement meeting that will take place at the end of January actually the 26th, on the evening of the 26th. So we're looking forward to what's to come from that. We'll continue to get more understanding from stakeholders, like I said, our administration, our teachers, parents, different parts of the community as well. We'll provide input that will support us in being kind of understanding what we need to do. We'll also be looking at a lot of areas, including possible topics of what consolidation would look like of buildings or anything along those lines, just looking at all possible opportunities and exploring this with our architects as they're learning and understanding our needs since utilizing them starting in August. That is all.
Thank you. Adrian, do you have anything else?
Nothing to add.
All right, who do you want to go to? I can't hardly see anyone over there. Mr. Singleton, you want to go first?
Sure. Stand up so I can see you guys. We do have a little bit of addition to what I submitted to the board packet. With our first snow and ice storm now behind us, the facilities department has fully transitioned to our winter boat. All of our equipment and staff are deployed and tested during the first snow removal and everything worked as it should. As the fall sports have wrapped up, our annual field maintenance has taken place with work being done to the PJHS football and soccer field, the PHS soccer field, PHS practice soccer field, and the PHS practice football field. This included aeration, fertilizer, overseeding, and some top dressing. Much of this work was completed with in-house equipment and labor this year in order to accomplish more with the funds allocated. Touching on Brandon's point with the facility assessment, the building assessment taking place with our partners at White & Company is progressing, with site visits having taken place over the last couple of weeks. During this time, the architects and engineers reviewed existing conditions within the building envelope and took close looks into the existing mechanical, electrical, and plumbing MEP infrastructure. Regarding our mechanical systems, after firing our boilers for the first time, some issues were addressed with the PJHS boiler misfiring, as well as repairing one cracked boiler tube at tank. At this time, all mechanical systems are up and running and functioning well. We will continue to monitor the boilers each day to make sure we stay on top of any potential issues. Final punch list items for the PES mechanical project are being completed and the system is functioning well. This is what I've added or what you have in your packet. I'm sure you guys are aware we had the power outage over the weekend at PES, so I would also like to provide the board with an update regarding the power outage we had at PES over the past weekend. The outage was discovered on Sunday during daily boiler checks, which take place every weekend during the heating season. After confirming this outage was isolated to our building, we contacted Midwest Mechanical, and they dispatched the project electrical vendor, Class Electric, to investigate. The issue turned out to be a very conservative setting on the 440-volt breaker leading into the building, which allowed the breaker to trip after a ground fault occurred somewhere in the 220-volt system. I'm working with setting up a meeting with Midwest and Class to review their findings, establish next steps to identify what system was the cause of the ground fault, and to make any corrections. At the time of the power restoration until present, the ground fault issue was and is not currently present. All mechanical systems have been monitored throughout the day and are functioning normally. It's worth noting that these issues are covered under warranty, and both Midwest and Class are committed to identifying the cause of the issue. Any questions?
Couple?
Sure. How do we know it's a ground fault and wasn't just an arc fault?
So at the 440 panel, there's a digital display. Once we were able to restore power back to that, we were able to bring the display up, and it had an activity log, and it showed there was an actual ground fault.
Wow. Okay. Boilers? You said you fired them up for the first time. When did you fire up the boilers for the first time?
Actually, we started doing it about a month ago. It was when I was out of town.
And then you had a bad heat exchanger, you said?
No, we had one of the
Heating
tubes
tubes.
at PIC had cracked. We had a similar issue in the same boiler last year. We had 2 cracked last year. So I think basically that first fire up tends to crack the fragile, which they are. At junior high school, the boiler was misfiring. It would
fire up, shut down, fire up, shut down. So we brought in contractors to look at it. They were able to make some adjustments to the interior, intake airflow, and that helped get everything taken care of. We did the combustion analysis and got everything done where it should be, so we're good to go now.
When do you do your preventive maintenance on those?
We do spring and fall.
Okay. That's it.
Anyone else?
The power outage, you said it's under warranty. Is the entire call under warranty, or are we paying for any part of labor or anything? But
Thank you.
Thank you. Mrs. Zanowski?
We wanted to start by thanking all of our families that attended or had phone conferences in the month of November. That was really exciting to have everyone in our building. See the whole month of learning. We had the PHS Student Council come out again to read to our youngest learners in kindergarten and first grade. Then we held our wonderful Veterans Day ceremony on November 11th. A big thank you to our Veterans Day committee of teachers and staff members that really put together a beautiful presentation. And we had a very large group of veterans show up this time around, which was really nice. Just wanted to extend a big thank you to the PTO who provided snacks, drinks, paper goods, and a donation towards dinner for teachers this time. We wanted to thank the Peatone Education Foundation as they have awarded a lot of grants at PES, so we wanted to thank them as well. And then just a congratulations one more time to our little kindergartner, Angel Martinez, and Mrs. Hoffman, who I see over there, for earning the Staff and Student of the Month. Thank you.
Perfect, thank you.
I just would like to say the ceremony was great on Veterans Day, and shout out to Mr. DeWeese for all those beautiful singing voices that were there. So it was a beautiful ceremony. I had the chance to watch live, so nice job.
Mrs. Takela?
Okay, thank you to all parents for attending. The collaboration is always invaluable. Also, we appreciate our PTO for funding our delicious dinner. Our PIC and PJHS choirs attended the Chicago Wolves game last Sunday. They performed a Veterans Day melody with other Chicagoland choirs at the Wolves game, Governor. And so thank you to all the families that came and supported. We had a great time. And then we had our PIC Veterans Day celebration. We had an assembly on the 11th. A wall of honor was set up in the gym to showcase the veterans' submissions by our students. A reception was held after the assembly for our visiting veterans and their families. A very special shout out again to our PIC choir who sang their Veterans Day medley that they had sung at the Wolves game, again, for us. And finally, our PIC students and staff for participating in our personal care item drive that will be benefiting the Manteno veterans.
Perfect, thank you. Mr. McGovern?
Hi, I'll start off with Veterans Day as well. We had an assembly at PKHS first thing in the morning on Veterans Day. Thank you to our veterans and namely Mr. Kruger for organizing the veterans coming in from the American Legion Post 392 to speak to our students and share some of their experience about being in the armed forces and being veterans, the importance of Veterans Day, and talking with the students and letting them ask some very Veterans Day specific questions. It was a great day. It was really great hearing from the veterans and hearing our students ask some genuine questions to them. Girls basketball season is getting ready to wrap up here. We will be hosting the 7th grade regional series starting this Saturday at Peatone Junior High School. And then 8th grade regionals we are not hosting, but will be shortly thereafter. Thank you to our girls basketball program and Mrs. Morozit for helping set up a bake sale fundraiser to support Manhattan Junior High through their recent losses of students at their school. We just played against, our girls played against Manhattan Junior High last week, and they were very appreciative of our efforts just to show support during their time of need. Our student council has been busy with Red Ribbon Week. Congratulations to Mrs. Fitzpatrick's 8-hour class for winning through all the festivities of the week. They won a pizza party, and thank you to our student council for last week. As much as I hate the whole 6-7 trend that goes around, they really leaned into it, saying 6 or 7 cents makes a difference, accepting donations for Helping Hands Food Pantry last week. So thank you to our student council for that. Back in October, about a month ago now, we had students from the junior high perform at the Canwell Music Festival. Unfortunately, this year I could not attend, but I heard they did even better than the year before. So congratulations to our students that participated there. And then I know Mrs. DeCella was talking about the fall concert. It's hard to believe that in about a month now it'll be the winter concert coming up. So if anyone wants to see our students perform in December, that performance I believe is December 11th. And then last thing, and I will wrap up, a shout out to the PTO for all their support this year, supplying paper goods and utensils and juice and pop for our staff at parent-teacher conferences, and for sending some volunteers to help us at our junior high dance, handing out snacks, providing the snacks that they handed out, and taking pictures for us at our photo booth and our glow-in-the-dark game dance. So thank you to the PTO for their continued support this year.
Awesome. Thank you. Mrs. Harden?
You took most of my highlights. So we welcomed our newest team member to PJHS, which is our therapy dog, Maggie. It's also Mrs. McIntyre, our social worker dog, who is now certified and trained as a therapy dog, so that the students have been excited that she visits us a couple times a week. And pretty much I just wanted to wrap it up. We wanted to say thank you, since this is a month of thanks, and just to let everybody know we are all thankful for the support of our families, our students, and our staff, and all stakeholders who continue to make PJHS a great place to be.
Perfect. Thank you. Mrs. Patrick?
Yeah, I just want to start by saying I think it's so amazing that every building in our district does a Veterans Day program. I don't think that's something that all districts put value in, and I think that's amazing for our kids because it sets the tone early on. One of the things I wanted to just touch upon was the Veterans Day program at the high school. One of the things I find to be so unique, Mr. Haywood, every year since it started, has gotten kids out of their classrooms by playing the bagpipes down the hallway, and that kind of signals for kids that they leave their classroom and they follow him into the gym. And it just sets such a positive tone for the event, and it's just such a tradition that I told him is truly going to be missed. Mr. Haywood is retiring this year, and so I of course said if you would like to come back, we would love to have you. But that's just something that makes the program very unique. This year, he did ask if he could speak to students as part of our Veterans Day program, and so we did have 2 speakers, and Mike was our last one, and he just did a fantastic job talking with kids about purpose and relating being a veteran and finding his way to when he was an 18-year-old graduating from high school and not knowing what his purpose was. And so I feel like that connection with kids is just so important, so we're very grateful that he was willing to speak with them. But our kids were so well behaved and so just in tune with what was happening, so it was overall just a really great way to celebrate the veterans that were there. So.
Perfect. Mrs. Jakubek?
Along the lines of veterans, we actually recently had a drive, our student council did, with Operation Appreciation, and they were collecting non-perishable food and hygiene items for the Encino Veterans Home. You know, Mr. Robinson is the student council sponsor. I noticed his class was the winning class. I'm just throwing that out there. I'm sure it was all above board, but I did notice he was the winner today, but we were grateful for all the students that participated in that. Additionally, our NHS, as we mentioned, like, we've got kids going over to the elementary school. What a neat thing to be part of a unit district where kids can do that. So our NHS went to Peatone Elementary to complete a Thanksgiving activity with the kids. Yeah, it was wonderful. And really, they were so energized by the experience too. Our kids really love to be counted on to show leadership to the younger ones. Another club getting started here, our math club. You know, we saw all those kids getting recognition for their math scores, so we'd love to see a bump in that math club. They start their competitions November 19th. I also want to mention, you said it so well, Natalie, as we're looking at a season of being grateful. I'm really grateful for the students in our school. We, of course, focus on the Go Big Blue attributes, but one little thing we have at the high school that Mrs. Patrick created really cute little cards that we could nominate kids for being spot on. They're really close to whatever our tenant for that month is. And it's so fun from an administrative standpoint because that box is jammed full. I'm so grateful for our staff who's nominating them. I'm so grateful for our kids who are living out these tenants day in and day out. And they're really excited to know that they were picked. And even if they didn't win whatever the little award is, they really have a lot of pride in getting that piece of paper back. And so, what a great way to recognize them. Yes, we're talking about Thanksgiving, but Ms. Hart, we're always looking ahead at the high school. We can't help ourselves. We're also thinking about finals. We've got a Cocoa Pram coming up here in December, so we start prepping our kids. Also for Christmas, but before that, the testing that takes place.
Perfect. Thank you. Mrs. Johnson?
So we continue to work collaboratively with the team, special education staff to make the best environment possible for all of our students. I will meet with each of the school buildings special education team this month to continue to collaborate on what is working and what is not. And we are continuing to wrap up the end of the year with our last IEP and coverage meetings for 2025.
Perfect. Thank you. Carrie? Nothing? Jennifer? Nothing? Mr. Can?
Brief, but I basically spent the last month getting acclimated to the position, meeting with vendors and building admin and teachers and grade level teams to find out directions that might be able to help improve workflow for those different groups. The tech team is in the middle of doing a long overdue Windows update. We've got PJHS and most of PES done, and we're hoping that the rest of the district will be done by the end of Thanksgiving break. We've finalized a date for 12 switches in high school to be implemented and installed during MLK Day, which I think is also a lot of time coming from the emails that I've been reading. And just a big shout out to Dave Monty, who spent a lot of time pining over making sure that this room is ready for the board meeting with a different microphone and projector setups. You can tell while he's working on that it really means a lot to him that things go off without a hitch. So big shout out to him.
Perfect. Mr. Deweese?
Union leadership appreciates the district administration with they're treating the likely reduction in force with a compassion and thoughtfulness that I have not seen before in a reduction in force in our district or other districts. So I just wanted to give a shout out to them for being thoughtful and compassionate in their plans.
Perfect. Thank you. Is there anything else from the board? No. All right, for the purpose of discussing the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees or legal counsel, collective negotiating matters, student disciplinary cases, and other matters relating to individual students pending probable or imminent litigation, security procedures, school building, safety and security, and the use of personnel and equipment to respond to an actual, a threatened, or reasonable potential danger to the safety of employees, students, staff, the public, or public property. There will be action following executive session. Can I get a motion to adjourn the regular board meeting?
So moved.
Have a question?
Are we adjourning the board meeting? Or we're adjourning into executive?
Yes.
Into executive, okay.
Yep. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Or no, she did a roll call. All in favor? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.